Everybody, President Trump and Julian Assange are world leaders. There are people that lead countries and have done so successfully and have been able to manage whatever population lies within their country. President Trump and Julian Assange have this gift and truth and reality of world leadership. And you can't run a world with corruption. It has to be run with honesty and integrity. And I remember back in 2014, I told President Trump on Twitter that he was the only one that could do this job. It might have been 2015. I'm not exactly sure of my date of my tweet. But I also stated that he was the only one that would put green money into our country. And what I meant by that was that he's such a genius at business and has survived his empire in this country against the deep state. And he stayed building it without the help of anything dirty. He did not buy into the satanic people that were trying to take over and control him and make him party and predator inside of his own, his own wealth and his own company. And he just stayed on the sidelines. They were always asking him all these years about what did he think of 9/11? What did he think of Obama? What did he think of this? In 2012, he tweeted about where are the missing children and child trafficking and pedophilia. He always knew. And the one thing while he was running his empire is he stayed connected to everything that he needed to be connected to. And he was watching it while CEO and executive of his empire. Then we get to Julian Assange, who has the world view of every single government and every single place of how it's run and what they're doing underneath and inside. And I'm sure there are so many millions of things that he sent that haven't even been published. But people send it to him when they need to be validated and when they are privy and curse to find out things that are going wrong in the government. But these two men are world leaders because they can handle the job and handle the information, and they have such an amazing way to be heard and listened to and received by people. And that's the most important thing, is that when you still have a high position of power, the fact that you can still connect to people and you're not acting superior, you're not arrogant, you're not better than, you are equal to, but you still have the ability to have that leadership role. And so as we move forward, everybody, it's imperative that people understand the duties and the chores that are bestowed upon these two men alone. And they are handling it, and they do have specific teams helping them. But the immense amount of responsibility and liability is really in the hands of two people. And both men know what to say, when to say it, what they can't say, and what they have to hold on to and know and try to fix from behind the scenes. And one of the things that I'm just in awe of with both of them is the class in which they navigate what they need to do and how they get it done. And really put out into truth and into simple, easy to follow instructions what the whole dark side of this country and world was, and how it was run by dirty money and the pedophile ring. And every aspect of it they have handled like professionals. Also inside this video, I'm going to post a video that has my voice in it that they are posting about what's up with Julian. And then I'm going to put his statement inside this video also. And one other thing, everybody, the deep state, when they want to make nobody believe in you, make nobody like you. They accuse you of what they are guilty of to try to derail your credibility. All I had to do was hear that they charged Julian Assange with sexually abusing children and assault or any kind of crime, and I started laughing. There is no way that's true. And when you're awake and when you can see through the deep state operatives and how they try that tactic with everybody, and they abuse it because it's all unfounded and they have to drop it later, and they try to destroy anybody that is telling the truth about their crimes. So there was never any truth to it. It never had any validity. They have falsely lied about me trying to kidnap children when it never happened. And when you stand in truth, the only thing you can do is make the deep state have a spotlight on them as to why they constructed a lie like that and what is it that they were hiding. And we've seen now that we know exactly what they were hiding. And they will continue to try with other people to target them in this exact same way. When they are faced against their crimes being revealed, they will invent lies about the truth tellers in order to try to make sure that they are not believed and that they are destroyed financially so they can't even figure out how to live. And what we have to move towards in society are no investigations, and a government, especially in the United States, that's investigation free because it's being run in accordance with the law and in accordance with the republic. And we don't need to have special counsels because there won't be anything to investigate. And as the Mueller investigation is winding down due to the fact that they have nothing and they've cost us a lot of money, which pointed to all the Democrats, we need to unhook our minds from the fact that we need to be under investigation, and that's what our news is about. Our news needs to start becoming about prosperity, helping people, healing people, taking care of our elderly, the disabled, thanking and protecting our veterans, and worshiping their service, and building this country to a superpower so that we teach other people that dictatorship and the pedophile ring is the demise of their country. And it will take United States leadership in order to change it anywhere else. Julian Assange are doing. So the second part of this exact video that I just talked about, the wall, is talking about DACA and what's going on with that. Now, again, when you have a constitution, everybody, there's no leeway and wiggle room around it. There's no compassion. You can't be saying, oh, I love this country. Let's ignore the Constitution and let all them stay. It's the same rule for everybody. And one of the things pointed out in this video is that many of the DACA people had the option to try to apply here legally. It's only been 17%. The majority of them stayed here illegally, seizing all the benefits that are under illegal. Try to remember, when you become legal, you get a social security number and you're bound to taxes and consequences for what you do under your social security number. Many people like to stay illegal because that bypasses a system where they have accountability and they're held to the laws, of course, in the past. And the worst thing for our country is to not hold these people accountable and not have any way to know where the revenue is going and if they're contributing to taxes of the state that they're in and everything else that they're doing, because that just paves the way to impoverish the nation. In fact, where I used to live, I knew all kinds of people that were making money under the table and mailing it to their foreign lands, and they bypassed everything and they didn't have to even account for a dime. And this would include restaurants and businesses that were owned by people that were not citizens, and they would make tons of money and ship it out of here and never have to do anything. And that's a big problem in the immigration system. And it's all going to have to get fixed and worked out, because the money that goes out of this country and takes away jobs and businesses from everybody else is part of what impoverished us under Obama. And then they let all those illegal businesses survive and do that without any consequence, when in fact all of it is criminal. You can't earn money and not pay taxes. You can't have a social security number or a business and not pay your fair share. And you can't just earn money and walk around paying cash for everything and have no accountability. It's called tax evasion. And so just because they're illegal, that means they think they're not bound by the tax laws. Under the constitutional law, they, however, are. So that was the second part of this report. It's really imperative that we put together a whole nation based on the same laws for everybody. And the last thing in that video, they are talking about DACA. And I have said this since the beginning. President Trump is not going to allow for it, and neither are we the people, and neither are the normal good people that want the Constitution in play. It was always an illegal order, and there's nothing you can do in the Constitution to fix this. So all those meetings are showing who's who, and when they find out who's who, then they get to see the skeletons in their closet and why they're still trying to fight for it and trying to put illegals in and illegal votes and run an illegal government that's not constitutional. So every single person still in opposition is the one where the spotlight shines now. And that is what Julian Assange is doing and President Trump. And I knew it, but this video affirms it, and I believe them 1000%. And thank goodness that we have somebody that's got the high integrity of Julian Assange, because he's the only one that would be able to really dismantle what they've done in this tragic deep state, and the point of getting away with it for so long. It was the documents sent to him by every true patriot and true American that ended up giving us what he has. And he probably had chances to be bought and bought again in order to trade for his life, and he still said no. And that's what I love and have always loved about him. Thank you.
We're literally working on a shoestring here. If each one of you who are subscribing to this channel contributed $1, just one, a month, we could do this full time and help other people. I'm going to leave a link below this video so that you can see on my front page where the subscription link is. If you're able to give more, that's perfectly fine. Many people have donated to us already, and I really, really appreciate that. I just want you to know. To our friends in Canada, I'm very grateful for you. I was able to be on the Kevin